said you're the first, so I think you do need to.
Where does this go? Like right on?
Probably should try to be right underneath your mouth, like somewhere around
Can
there.
I put it like right here? Oh, it doesn't clip on you?
It does have a clip.
Okay, you clip it right here to the side. Please and thank you. So I want to put it under my clothes so I don't snag it. Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Yes, excited. And so I also let Miss Cat know your slides may look a little different. I had to update a number or two and make a correction. So just so you guys are aware. Okay, thank you. Okay. I found my. These your babies. They are beautiful. Ready?
While we wait on our judges, everybody ready today? Yeah. Sure? Y'all may be in soccer today. My 2-year-old is in soccer. Don't all, because I'm happy not to be there. Y'all did me a favor, right? I want to be there. But thank y'all for coming. We're going to, as always, y'all know how I am. If anybody has ever seen me present or me host, we make sure they cheer and we give them the courage and encouragement to continue to come up here and give their best effort. So we clap them up, and when they finish, we applaud them. So we got 2 judges, and it's on their way. We got 1 more that's coming up, and then we're gonna get started. So you guys got about 2 to 3 more minutes, and then we're gonna get started. That work for everybody? Yes, sir. All right. Is it just me, or does it seem like we need to have some soft jazz playing right now? Soft jazz. Okay, all right, we're gonna get started. All right, so welcome to the Main Street track, where we have some great entrepreneurs who have done extraordinarily well. This is the last round, so I'm gonna tell y'all, this is the money round. So bring your best, and you guys know, you know your business. You put in the effort, you put in the work. So now it's time to show and prove. So real quick, let's give our judges, because they are are the ones who have also put in a lot of work, being here and dedicating their time. So let's give them a round of applause. So, as you guys know the rules, you got 30 minutes, and then we have a timer here. Your timer's set. We will set it when you get up here and get started. And then after your timer goes off, y'all know me, I will cut you off. Your time is 30 minutes. Hope you're prepared for it. Sound good? All right. So, without further ado, we are going to bring our first presenter, and that is CareTask LLC presenter, Miss Tasty Smith. Let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. If I could have everyone to close their eyes and just picture a loved one that you have had to care for. When I think of my loved ones, I think of my grandparents. My beautiful grandmother, Marjorie Marbury, and my grandfather, Frederick Cox. My grandmother, she is the matriarch of our family and has held us together for a long time. She dedicated her life to HR and served for over 20 years. If that doesn't show you dedication, then I do not know what will. She made sure that we attended all birthday parties, family reunions, holidays, and that meant a lot to me growing up. My grandfather, on the other hand, he was a veteran who served his country and served his family. I can remember meeting him when I was 7 years old, and we went to Baltimore, Maryland. When we arrived, my sister and I were selling candy bars for a school fundraiser. Not only did he purchase all of our candy bars, but he also took us to the carnival. He took us fishing, and he let us help him make his famous homemade banana pudding. Unfortunately, last year, my grandfather passed away. Sorry. From cancer. And it was not an easy thing to watch. Shortly after his passing, my grandmother suffered a stroke brought on by his death. And she was hospitalized. And while in the hospital, she suffered a second stroke. Watching, I absolutely could not do anything. And that was a problem for me. And so I took on the challenge to open a business that would serve the purpose of my grandparents' legacy, which was CareTask Solutions. Hello, my name is Tasty Smith, and I'm the owner of CareTask Solutions. We've been in business a little over 2 years, serving over 300 senior citizens in Montgomery County and the surrounding areas. We offered transportation services to a local transportation company as a contractor in 2020 and branched out to offer home health care in 2022. Our mission is to provide services and supports that allow seniors to remain in their homes and independent to improve their quality of life. We currently serve seniors who are people who are 62 years of age or over. In the future, we hope to serve people with disabilities and children who need rides to and from daycare and school. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, there are 74,000 senior citizens in Montgomery County, and that number is expected to grow by 42% by 2040. Some of the pros to having a non-emergency medical transportation company are that everyone can use our services. Everyone, from children to our grandparents. Most Medicaid plans pay for this service based on the need of the individual. And many factors affect how we can charge and or bill for these services based off location, region, the type of client we are serving, the time of day, and even if we work on weekends and or holidays. Some of the cons are that some of our partnerships do not pay enough. And when they do not pay enough, of course, that does not help with our sustainability. Getting prior authorizations can be difficult if we don't have the right support. And then it is a very competitive market. In the last round of flyer pitch, we were asked, how would we sustain our business if Medicaid did not improve their revenues? And some things were that compensation increases affect how we can pay our staff and ourselves. It also means that there may be lower hours available, and if there are lower hours available, we have to cut staff, and sometimes even lose employees because there's not enough work to go around. In the first round, we were asked to make a business model canvas, and we would like to highlight some of the things on our business model canvas, which are our channels and partnerships. And we are currently certified through Medicaid, Buckeye, Anthem, Aetna, and CareSource. We have a collaboration with Area on Aging to provide our Buckeye clients with home health services. We advertise currently through our website, Facebook, Avelity, 411, and Yelp. Our key resources are our vehicles. We could not transport without them, and we have currently 2 company vehicles expecting to expand and add 1 more by the end of 2023. Our supplies, of course, we need our office supplies to be able to print invoices and service our clients. Mentorship, we could not have done any of this without our mentors. They have helped us grow, gain resources, funding, and also helped us expand and scale. And then the funding as well. Without that, we could not have scaled, expanded, or provided jobs. So we appreciate it. Our cost structure contains fuel, payroll, insurance, supplies, our automobile repairs and maintenance, and marketing. They are listed from highest priority to lowest as pertaining to cost. I'm sorry. Our onboarding process for employees, as we look to do starting in June of 2023, onboarding our second employee by the end of 2023. We will recruit. We will complete a registry check certifications to make sure that they are applicable. We will give them an application to complete. Once completed, we will then interview the candidate. We will complete a background check and hire and train as pertaining to the role that they will be in, because of course home health care is different from the transportation side. After they are hired, we will offer competitive wages, do employee appreciation, update certifications annually, follow up and retrain as needed. In the very far left column, it shows us onboarding a driver, and the driver will be onboarded again in June of 2023. And that driver, doing approximately 20 rides, 120 rides a month, will bring in $8,400 based off a $70 per ride fee. And that is our base rate, so we are going with the lower number as to not overestimate. It will be a total expense of $2,560 monthly, and our total profit per unit will be $5,870 per unit. Now looking at the home health care side, it will look a little different and a lot less. As we explained that before, it is not our highest earner, but we have implemented home health care into our aura as to gain traction with our other partnerships. In the first quarter, we made approximately $25,000. Our variable expense was $17,000, and our net profit was $8,000. In the second quarter, we do not expect that to change, as nothing will change so far as onboarding or expenses as far as we know. In the third and fourth quarter, these numbers are different because, of course, we will have onboarded an employee in June of 2023, and because the other employee will not be onboarded to the end of 2023, nothing will change for quarter 4. Our annual income projections for 2021 were approximately $25,000. In 2022, they were $50,000, and then in 2023, we expect to make $112,000. In our 3-year forecast, our sales revenue shows that we just expect to make $112,000 this year. Our labor variable expense will be $34,600, and our variable expense will be $45,700 with a total cost of $80,300, leaving us with a net profit of $31,700. As you can see, every number is expected to grow as our 3-year forecast goes on, and our net profit expects to grow as well. In round 1 flyer pitch, we were awarded $500, and we used that funding to establish our DBA, CareTask Solutions. We purchased the logo, business cards, decals for our company vehicles, and we started to market. We implemented a survey to track customer satisfaction, and so far we have received over 100 5-star reviews since the first round of flyer pitch. The second round flyer pitch, we used our funding to establish our unique value proposition, which was to add cameras to all of our company vehicles, to reduce the liability with our insurance company, record each trip, and ensure the safety of all riders and drivers. Expanding operations will bring in new revenue potential, new partnerships and contracts, and give us the ability to provide more jobs, which is what we plan to do here in Montgomery County. We also would like to market more, become more known, and bring in more clientele. We are asking for $10,000 in working capital to be able to onboard our 2 drivers with doing background checks, certifying them in CPR first aid, doing their initial training, cover the rest of the costs for insurance to get us through 2024, cover our Bureau's worker comp fee, fuel, and our CNA certification that we just found out that we have to obtain to become agency certified. Receiving funding will help us remain compliant with insurance, onboard and train 2 employees before 2024, cover all major expenses for the next 3 months, and it will help us expand all over. I just want to say thank you to my wonderful team and my mentors and my family and my support system, as none of this could have been done without any of you. I also would like to thank the wonderful judges for being here today and giving me your time and attention. Since round 1 of flyer pitch competition, CareTask has been getting a lot of public attention. We've been asked to be featured in Dayton Daily newspaper, the Dayton Scorer newsletter, and a Launch Dayton newsletter. So we are excited. Again, our customer satisfaction, we will continue to track it and have received over 100 5-star reviews, and we are excited about that as well. And that just lets us know that we are on track and will continue to grow and thrive. Since round 1 flyer pitch, we have served over 200 clients. That in itself is already a major goal. We've doubled our income from 2021 to 2022, and we are on track to double our income for 2022-2023. We have almost completed the Urban Accelerator program, and in that program, they required us to complete 80 business steps, which CareTask has completed 75 of the 80 steps. We've also just recently became WBE MBE certified, and that will allow us new revenue streams, new grants and funding and exposure. So I am also excited about that. We have recently submitted an application to the Department of Aging, and we are looking forward to hearing from them and working with them as well. The success in completing 3 rounds of flyer pitch competition. That is a relief. In the midst of the flyer pitch competition, we were recommended for funding and also the Outstanding Entrepreneur Award. Our first funding we got was from Coca-Cola through the UPBI program. We received grant funding from Fifth Third. We received flyer pitch funding. We received a microloan from Cultural Capital. And we hope to receive a $10,000 grant from flyer pitch competition. So overall, over the year, we have become fundable. We've already expanded. We have the potential, and we are growing, and you want to be part of it. I just want to thank everyone so much for having me here today and hearing my pitch with the 2022-2023 flower pitch competition. Oh, yes. Any questions at all? None? Oh, that's exciting. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hold on, the mic.
All right, appreciate it. Wonder if that's gonna get in the way. Make sure we got good energy. Say just energy.
Please tell a friend or be a part of what we do with our business clinic. So if anybody needs any help with anything, whether it's writing a business plan, understanding marketing strategy, anything at all, you can sign up for the business clinic and we will give you all the help with any aspect of your business for about, I think it's an hour. You can register for an hour, 30 minutes, however you want to register, but this is absolutely free. This is a resource that we provide and we host it at the incubator on 3rd Street, 1105 West 3rd Street. So make sure we've been having, I want to say 30 to what, about 35 business owners come every 2 weeks. We host this every 2 weeks. So it doesn't matter if you come every 2 weeks and you register every 2 weeks, it's absolutely free. So please, if you have any questions, if you want to be a part of that, you can go on our website at the GWDI and please tell a friend. So as soon as we get through, we're going to go on with our next. All right. All right. So we have our next group coming up. They are amazing at what they do as well. And it's been great because I've had an opportunity to work with all of these companies and organizations firsthand. So it's been amazing, and I just am so gracious to see the growth and the potential. And I know that some of these companies are not only going to be major here, but they'll be major everywhere. And I'm looking for that first big Fortune 500 company to come because I need a check. Yeah, I need a couple dollars. So we're gonna go on to the next group. I know I'm bursting you out. Sorry. Okay. So
Thank you.
we'll give her a few more minutes to get a little bit.
No, I thought I had to get her.
While we
Yeah.
do that, anybody watch the playoffs?
I'm about to sit back down. That's what time up. That's what. That's what time. Huh? You said 29. He got 29 instead of 30. But what's the name didn't get nothing either. Should have took the under. It was bad. Not a penny. I was salty too. Say he got right at 29 instead of 30.
For everybody, all my presenters, I have your slides. So don't worry about it. They're already here.
Yeah, they up in the. I just want to make sure it click.
I wish I had something to offer y'all. Like
She ain't getting no questions. That's good. Said she ain't get no questions.
the bagels outside,
No questions. That's good. Like she ain't get grilled. They just ask me all kind of stuff. Nigga, really.
That wasn't what I was expecting. Yeah. gravy or nothing like that. But we didn't get a toaster, did we?
So we get a toaster.
All right, so
It's game time. I feel like I'm getting in the blocks, about to run a quarter right now.
You got it. Just like that.
That's it. Like you play in front of 80, 100,000. You feel me? We got 10, 15 people to enjoy. You feel me?
all right, so without further ado, we're going to go on to our next group, our next presenters. This is a organization business who has done extraordinary things. I'm so happy to be presenting or bringing them up. I've worked with them personally, and they have shown great promise in what they're doing in our community. So let's give them a round of applause, empowering to elevate. Zach Logan.
Thank you. All right. With the click, just gotta go over every time. All right. I want to start off with good morning, everyone. Good morning. I want to start off with a mindfulness activity we do. We start our therapeutic groups with that. I'm asking for the judges. I want to ask you one question just to start the group off. The first question will be for you, if you don't mind. Can you please share with me 5 things you can currently see in this room?
5 things I can see in this room. A group of people coming together. I see a screen, I see computers, I see coffee, water. Presenters.
Okay, there we go. Thank you. Next, can you please tell me 4 things you can touch in this room? Not saying you want to touch them, but if you touch them.
Water bottle and this chair, computer.
Okay, thank you. Next, can you please share with me 3 things you can currently smell? Please don't expose anyone if.
I can smell my conditioner from my shower.
Okay.
My smell doesn't work at all. I'm home. Pencil, I can smell. Income.
Okay, thank you. Next, can you please tell me 2 things you can currently hear?
I hear fan in the background, and whatever there is in the background, and hear you.
Okay, thank you. Last, can you please tell me 1 thing that you can still currently taste? Okay, good. Thank you. We start our therapeutic groups off with that type of activity just as an icebreaker. It helps with anxiety from our clients and things of that nature. We also do that when we jumpstart some of our staff meetings or professional developments and things like that, just to break the ice. That allows us to be refocused and be present within the moment. That is very huge with our kids, with social media. Obviously, everybody's accustomed to the hurdles that we have with social media. But that's what I want to start with. We are Empowering to Elevate, and I will start with the journey introducing you guys to our team. My name is Zach Logan. I'm the co-founder and CEO. I'm actually from Dayton. I went to Trotwood Madison, transitioned to go to Purdue University, where I received my undergrad in organizational leadership and supervision. Followed by that, I went to Texas Southern University, where I received a master's in health and kinesiology with the extra focus on human performance. Additional certifications throughout the years, I received collaborative problem solving, Tier 1 and Tier 2. That's trauma certified through Think Kids with Dr. Abalon. Also, excuse me, history and just a little bit more experience. I worked in Montgomery County Common Police Court for a panel of 12 judges for over 4 years, coached a little college ball as well, and been in the mental health field for over 5 years. I love making an impact and changing the trajectory of our kiddos. That's what I'm truly passionate about. Next, I will share with our next team member, Marquel Brewer. He's another co-founder. He has over 20 years of experience working in schools and also in residential settings with high-level kiddos from time to time. Marquel also holds a degree in criminal justice and also a master's in health and kinesiology, not health and kinesiology, sorry about that, and organizational leadership and supervision. He also holds 2 additional certifications in trauma-informed care with collaborative problem solving through Dr. Abalon. And throughout the years, we've we've been able to work together, and we decided to make this journey together. We both took a leap of faith. We previously worked for the same company. Next, I'll dive into our clinical director, Ms. Michelle Brown. She has over 20 years of experience working in school-based services and also in outpatient world. She does a phenomenal job. She has a bachelor and master's degree from Youngstown State University in social work. She currently teaches there as well. She has a wide variety of certifications. As you can see, it's a requirement that we have collaborative problem solving. And she has a variety of certifications in trauma. For instance, one I'll touch on, she has a certification in neurosequential model. That's through Dr. Bruce Perry. I'm not for sure if you guys are familiar with him, but he just recently wrote a book with Oprah, so he's kind of trending on social media, and she has that certification. That certification allows us to do brain maps on our kiddos. With those brain maps, it's more like a upside down triangle, and it's different areas in that triangle based on the level of care and level of need and trauma related. So if that triangle has different boxes of red, obviously those are areas that we're going to dive into, and that assessment dictate different interventions that we can dive and help those areas. Also, yellow, those are areas that they have some type of skill, but we're still working to develop those. And then green, nobody's perfect, but they're functionable at grade level in a nutshell, okay? Now I'll talk about our mission. We want to continue to provide direct care to our clients, our educators, and families as we help them tackle mental health challenges. How do we get there? We want to help them, we want to empower them to lean into their academic ability as learners. We want to teach them how to self-regulate so they can be, so they can handle their emotions. Because a lot of times we struggle with handling our emotions, and nobody's perfect. Everybody probably still has area to grow in that area. So we work on that by developing coping skills and different strategies to target those areas, which at the end goal, especially in our school-based program, it helps the growth of their academic progress. Our curriculum and how do we build our treatment plans and how do we set our curriculum when we run groups and we're doing sessions. These are our areas. These are 5 domains. First one I'm going to touch is our language and communication, understanding what others are saying. That is very big with our kiddos, and we start from preschool all the way to high school. So understanding what others are saying and understanding the flow of conversation is very key and crucial for us. Another area that we dive into is our attention and working memory, doing things in order, and being able to stick with things that require attention. That's very essential for us. Next area we'll dive into is our emotional self-regulation, pausing before we respond. Like right now, I'm pausing right now because I want to make sure that I'm focused. However, handling things when you're annoyed or you're frustrated, that's very crucial. Another area we dive into is cognitive flexibility, seeing things in shades of gray instead of seeing things as black and white. And our kiddos, also teaching them how to handle a change in routine and also understanding when it's change of rules. Because sometimes they, especially in our kiddos, they want to lock in on certain things. And if it doesn't happen that way, sometimes we have issues, so we have to work through those issues. And last is our social thinking skills, understanding how their behaviors makes others feel and understanding other people's point of view. We build out our curriculum around this. Every client that we have, from the client when they first start, we have them fill out this sheet. It's very insightful to hear what they think and where they're at in these areas, from easy, medium, hard. We have their parents, and we also have their teacher. When we do whole groups, we'll sit down with the teacher and we'll build out, we'll grade these areas based on their teachers. And then our team of therapists and social and emotional learning coaches will focus on building a sound group schedule with curriculum to better help those needs. Next, we'll hear from a testimonial from one of our partners. Can we get a little bit more volume? We'll pull it back just for a little volume, please. Let's see. That's fine. That's fine. I'm gonna go for it. They don't have it on there. right, thank you. That was just obviously a testimonial from one of our partners. Hopefully you guys were able to hear the volume. Next, I'll just dive in and share some of our current other partners. We were Montgomery County ESC, Educational Service Center. We just recently partnered with them to provide services for their middle school program. Miami County ESC, that was one of our first partners that we were able to acquire, and obviously Piqua City Schools. In the Akron area, we have a preschool with the Early Learning Academy up there. And then in Canton area, we're in the process of finalizing a new contract with K through 8 program in that area. Now we'll talk about our revenue models. Ooh, going a little fast. So with the ESSER funds, the ESSER funds are different government funds that are issued and allocated to every school district in Ohio. These funds were these funds were allocated based on COVID, because obviously they've seen the needs and the crisis with if things is going on. So you could have specialized programming and different resources you could provide with these schools. So with Piqua City Schools, they were able to utilize some of their ESSER funds, obviously to pay the monthly service fee that we charge a school. Next, we have our Title IV dollars. That's all school districts have those dollars for special programs and things of that nature. Miami County was able to utilize those funds. And then last, we have a grant on there, which our Akron school, they were able to utilize those funds for our monthly service fee. In additional funds, we have obviously the governor funds, Medicaid, and school district general funds. I will dive into a little bit more of our Medicaid dollars in a little bit on the next slides. These are different streams of revenue that we're able to bill Medicaid for services provided. Obviously, the first one is more of a fee that we charge a school to come in and implement service. All right, so obviously in 2022, our company, we were only able to receive funds for service fees based on acquiring our Medicaid certification. We had to go through a process to get that certification. In 2023, obviously you can see our revenue models will change with being able to receive those Medicaid dollars. So it won't just be purely school fees. You'll have a mixture of school fees with the Medicaid dollars, and it'll be the same in 2024. Next, we'll talk about different providers that we have and what they bill when we're providing these sessions. So for instance, clinician number A, they bill for therapeutic groups. We run groups within the school at least 3 days a week on average, and that's the rate that they bill for when we run those groups per kid. Also, we do individuals at least once a week with each kiddo that we have in our program based on a treatment plan. And then our social and emotional learning coaches, obviously we have bachelor's level and we have master's level. Those are the rates that they bill at as well. On this slide is more of a detailed breakdown. We'll have 10 kids in a group, and that's the rate that the clinician will bill for that day. And then we just did a blanket for the whole month for the 40 sessions. That's just showing that each client receives group. Now, we do have kids that have private insurance. We do not charge any kiddo that have private insurance. The private insurance covered is by the service fee that we charge the school. So we don't turn clients away. A lot of different agencies, if they say private pay, they're not going to take the kids. So that's one thing that we do as well. Obviously, you can see our revenue models. I know this was a big question last time when we were up in the second round, just looking at the dollar amounts. In 2022, we were able to stay a little bit more leaner with our staff. Me and my business partner and our clinician and director, we were just boots on the ground, not taking any salaries and things like that. So we sacrificed and did some things that we need to do to be successful. So we're able to stay lean. In 2023, we were able to acquire more contracts as well, which allowed us to increase, obviously, the revenue and definitely increase salary and benefits for our company. In 2024, you'll see the projections. That's with us only adding 2 to 3 programs. We're at the process now, based on having at least 3 to 4 months, we'll determine if we can service that program based on our network of relationships with colleges and universities. What have we done thus far? With the first round and the second round, we were able to utilize those funds to do our FBI and background checks, be able to do different drug tests for our staff, get cell phones. Every one of our staff is required to have CPR and CPI training, as well as collaborative problem solving. So we've been able to allocate some of those dollars to offset some of this cost. And we'll hear from another testimonial from one of our staff members.
The E2E focus on regulation before education. Many educators debate skill versus will. We believe the path less traveled can be difficult, which definitely can affect the will of the child. So we work repetitively using trainings of collaborative problem solving and Thanksgiving strategies by Dr. Avalon to develop social and emotional skills while simultaneously coaching the will of the child to be receptive to change. These trainings cover language and communication, cognitive flexibility, attention and working memory, social thinking skills, emotion and regulation. By utilizing these trainings, we've been able to change the trajectory of our kiddos' future, and that's the ultimate goal.
All right. Next, we'll talk about different marketing. Our number one marketing right now has been word of mouth, based on our relationships and providing services and just throughout the years of meeting different superintendents, principals, and things of that nature. So that's been our number one form of marketing. Also, we have client recommendations from the principals. They might have a client that they might feel that's a good candidate that we need to talk to. And next is family members. In the Akron area, Ms. Michelle Brown, our clinical director, she did an assessment on a kiddo. And after that assessment with that mom, diving through different questions of understanding how they, because it was a preschool kid, how she handled things during birth and how that might affect the kid and things of that nature. I think it was a true testament of the relationship and rapport that she was able to develop within that assessment. At the end of that assessment, that mom asked, could we bring her on as a client? So that was just a true testament of some of the great work that she was able to do in our team. Other areas that we get our clients, obviously we have school districts, we have daycares, we have community centers, obviously your Ys, your Boys and Girls Clubs, and things of that nature. How do we utilize different resources within the buildings? In every school that we are in, we have an office and we have a classroom. Some of the schools that we're in, they even give us computers, which is outstanding. And then we also have different designated spaces to just have conference room areas and things of that nature. With our electronic health records, that's essential for everything that we do as a business. That's how we do our assessments. That's how we do our treatment plans. That's how we do our notes for our kiddos. So that helps us track everything that we do on a day-to-day. Next, you'll see with the schools how we collaborate. They provide transportation. We're a year-round service, so we're not just pure school-based. So being able to negotiate and have those school districts come on board to provide transportation so we can see these kids for 24/7 pretty much around the clock, because if we don't see these kids for 2 months when they're out, we're doing them a disservice. So that's been essential for us. We collaborate with different field trips with them, professional development. Sometimes we hold the professional development and do training with their staff. Sometimes we just join their professional development and see what it is, just because we want to, continue to build our relationship and rapport with them as well. Progress to date, we were founded in June of 2022. From June 22, we decided to open our mental health agency. In August, we were able to become certified with Ohio Mental Health and Drug and Alcohol Addiction Services. Right after we became certified, we were able to secure 2 contracts. In December, we were able to secure our Medicaid license, and then obviously we were able to secure another program in December. So from February to April, we've been able to become partners with all of the different insurance providers. So that's where you'll see the different rates for Medicaid. We're able to now tap into those Medicaid fundings. And then currently, in closing, we're continuing to find new programs, and obviously we're looking at where we're capping it now so we can make sure that we're scaling appropriately. Integration, our goal is to continue to develop a great partnership with University of Dayton, especially with their counseling for mental health services. We do currently have one of our social and emotional learning coaches. She will be graduating from University of Dayton in this program, which she'll naturally just transition to a clinician for us. Also, we want to continue to have great communication with different colleges and universities so we can continue to build a pipeline to be able to serve all of our clients, families, communities, and school districts. What will we do if we win? We want to continue to reinforce our training models and focus on just different streamlining efforts as we continue to build and grow our team. We are truly driven to help change the trajectory of our youth. Thank you for your time. Also, I want to thank my support system that I have here. Obviously, I want to thank the judges. I want to thank everybody that's in the competition, and thank you. I feel like I stumbled on a couple slides. Yeah. Any questions? And I didn't want to back up, so I didn't. I was,
So I know with some of the COVID funds, they expired around September 2024. Do you have any concerns about the locations that you are currently with and the ones that you're going to be bringing on, that they, in terms of their contracts being extended beyond that? So we're thinking school year 2024.
So with 2024, right now, the governor, for instance, unfortunately, every time we see a mass shooting in school, the government pretty much dumps more funds in schools. So they're different. The name will basically kind of change. So they have like Harper funds. I know from 2020 to current now, they had $3 billion of Harper funds. Right now they have $1.5 million left of Harper funds. It's just allocating and changing the names of how they're going to allocate those funds.
How many programs do you have? You have 5 programs now.
Yes, we currently have 5.
And how many do you want to finish up the year with?
Well, we'll end the school year, obviously, next month. We'll end with 5. Right now, we're gearing up to have 7 right now to start the next school year. Yeah,
And that'll take you into 2024.
correct.
And then how long does it take? Is it hard to get a program, like to I assume closing business in a business sense? Is it hard? Is there a barrier to entry to go get it? You have to go visit the school?
Right.
How does that work?
So mainly, we focus on meeting with the directors and the superintendents, and then we present at board meetings as well. We've been able to secure contracts with Montgomery County ESC, which the superintendent of Montgomery County ESC, she supervises all 28 school districts within Montgomery County, and the same in Miami County. So when we have conversations with them, they sent the, those school districts, if they have a high level of care kid, they send them to that program. However, with what's interesting, with Piqua City Schools, they send their kids and partner with Miami County. So Miami County ESC was our first contract. So we got our second contract with Piqua City Schools because they basically cut the middleman out. So that's how we can get business. Obviously, we want to make sure that we're being diligent with that because we don't want to burn any type of relationships and things of that nature. So it's always an open line of communication.
And your service fee is separate than the group fees. What's the service fee?
So it depends on the program. So we tailor make the program based on what the school needs. So for instance, in Piqua, we have a self-contained classroom. Self-contained classroom basically indicates we have 10 kids all day. We'll have 2 social and emotional learning coaches in there. We have access to our therapists, and we have a teacher for the whole period of the day. And then we have another model where we come in and we provide therapeutic groups 3 days a week. We implement it within the curriculum. So those are our 2 different service models. Then we do PD as well.
So you mentioned Montgomery County ESC. Are you in the Future Self program? Like middle school?
We just recently secured a contract that will provide services to 30 kids that they have with the middle school. Yeah. I'm not for sure. I previously had programming with them. That might be something brand new, but obviously we're just ironing out the details right now. We'll start that program in July.
So if you're seeing kids in a school setting, and then you said something about their electronic health records. So
We have electronic health records to document and do everything that we need to do. So if I'm meeting with you and I'm doing a session, that information is documented in our electronic health records.
but it doesn't go to their record.
In our, no, it's all predicated to our records, yeah.
Okay. And you said you got Medicaid in 22 December?
Yep, December.
You still say that it's in progress? Is there?
No, we secured our Medicaid license in December, and then after you get the Medicaid license, you have to partner with each different insurance provider. For instance, prime example, CareSource, Love CareSource, they're up the street. They're going to take 90 days before they let you be a member. And we just became a member in March. Like, she knows it's a good thing, but it's a headache. Buckeye is the same. Buckeye takes 2 months to 3 months, and things of that nature. So we finally finalized going through those hurdles with those providers to partner.
When you bring on, do you need a billing person to be able to do?
With our electronic health records is built in, the type of software, we invested a lot of money in that program. So me and my business partner, we have access to do that internally. We will add on staff to do it, but currently we're doing it, and we have a live agent 24/7 that we can contact to take us through any steps or hurdles we might have. Any other questions? All right, thank you. Man, that was fun. Thank you. I feel like I stumbled in a couple areas.
Oh, you're next. I just like clip that right here, and then do you have a pocket in there?
I sure don't. Let me see. I don't know. Can I clip it to will it clip upside down?
Yeah, we can do that, or
On my
think it'd
back?
be annoying if
You
it was
can
on your
try.
back.
Will you?
I don't know if that's gonna be. This might be annoying.
Will it clip?
It's got like an antenna.
It's okay.
And if you
It's fine.
cool.
Oh yeah, how did this happen? I forgot about that. We were supposed to be in the square. Are my paper slides up here? Okay. Nope. That's okay. Thank you. Okay, sorry. You know I'll be ready. I need to pee now, but I'll wait. I can wait 20 minutes. Thank you.
Would you
clear view of the slides, so I'll stand over here. Let me see which button. Okay, hi, welcome, good morning. I'm gonna allow myself a moment to acknowledge that I've arrived in this moment and that this is almost over. This journey has really grown me a lot, personally and professionally, and grown Haya a lot. So I wanna invite you all to just take a moment to yourselves as I take a moment to regulate my nervous system, as Zach touched on so eloquently, and to maybe allow your shoulders to relax away from your ears, to take a deep breath, maybe the first one you've taken all day. Everyone is invited to join us, and to just sinking a little bit deeper into this moment. I'm really grateful for this opportunity and thankful for the support so far in this journey. And I am super excited because I haven't got to share my story with you all yet. And so I have really been on this self-care journey since the beginning, as you can see. I've been trying to find ways to just enjoy life and balance out some of the chaos that life can bring since I was really young. I grew up in a pretty chaotic household and environment, and I grew up with a lot of genetic and environmental predispositions for all different kinds of physical illness, high blood pressure, diabetes, arthritis, you name it, and mental illnesses like anxiety and depression run in my family a lot. And I started experiencing those myself as a teenager, and it was very quick, you know, here's some anti-anxiety medication, and I just knew really young that I didn't want to go down that path. And that I could kind of take things into my own hands. So I started just exploring different ways to manage my mental and physical health on my own. I battled with a lot of digestion issues growing up, so got into herbalism just to discover ways that I could manage my own well-being without turning to pills and procedures and such. So that kind of journey led me to studying deeper into holistic healing, and I moved to Australia when I was 19, and I got to learn a lot about holistic healing. I became a personal trainer and a yoga instructor and learned about Reiki and the energy systems of the body, and I would incorporate all these different things that I had learned in with my clients. And I also learned a lot about myself on that journey and a lot about just other cultures and how there's other places that have this work-life balance thing figured out a little bit better than we do. And so I was very inspired and very relaxed in that time that I was in Australia, and coming back home, I had a bit of a challenge reintegrating into our culture as it is. So although the long-term kind of ultimate goal for me is like systems and culture change, because I think the way that we're operating in our working life is not really sustainable. So I founded Haya in 2020, and Haya comes from an Arabic word that means life-giving. So it's about bringing that life side back into the work-life balance and kind of restoring balance to how we're showing up. Systems and culture change takes a lot, but I've just been trying to be more intentional about how we can work with what we've got and where we're at, and how we can be more intentional about incorporating wellness into the culture as it is. So when I first launched Haya in 2020, it was in the pandemic, and so I was like, all the gyms are closing, people can't go get a massage, how are we gonna find the wellness at home? So I had this idea to do subscription boxes where people could discover different products and practices to support them on a natural healing journey. So I was literally hand delivering to save on shipping boxes to people's doorsteps at the beginning. And then as the kind of pandemic did the thing it did, and we got a lot of coaching from the Greater West Dayton Incubator, the Entrepreneur Center, all of these programs like this, and we have grown so much over the last couple of years. It's kind of blowing my mind, but now we're supporting organizations, and we're helping them to be more intentional about how they're showing up for their employees and their well-being. And so we're offering strategic consulting, where again we're working with the leaderships of organizations and just helping them to ask the right questions. We're doing holistic programming that is incorporating practices that I bring, like yoga and mindfulness and movement, and also bringing in other practitioners. So as I've been growing my business, I've been growing this network of wellness practitioners, like massage therapists and sound and art therapists and life coaches and all kinds of different holistic practitioners. And we're incorporating programming that is actually responding to what self-care means to different people. So if I were to go and ask everyone in this room what self-care and wellness, like what helps you regulate, it's going to be different. So rather than assuming that there's this one-size-fits-all solution for one, entire group of employees, we're being really intentional and focusing on the individual and asking people, what does wellness mean to you and how can we incorporate that into your workday? So we're also doing holistic and custom benefit planning for some organizations and some retreats for those more intentional spaces for the teams to get out of the office, whether that's strictly for self-care or to have a more inspiring space for like a strategic planning retreat. So we're already starting to do the retreats. The long-term goal is to open a state-of-the-art healing retreat facility in Dayton. But again, we're working with what we've got, and so we've been really blessed. Before I applied for this competition, I had no space in which I was working. I had a satellite office in the hub, but since then, we have been, again, really blessed to be able to work out of the Heart, which is literally in the heart of Dayton on Salem Avenue, and the Heart is the House of Healing Arts. And it's just an intentional space for us to hold these healing events, to have peer support circles, for executives to come out and have a more intentional meeting if they kind of need to reset, whatever the needs are. So it's supporting the community, it's supporting our businesses, and it's also supporting our wellness practitioners. So we're providing peer support circles and figuring out how we can support the wellness practitioners that are supporting our working people. So getting proof of concept as we're kind of piloting what it would be like to have a retreat center in Dayton, which is really exciting. So as we're growing our relationships with these organizations, which we're going to get into a little bit more, and growing our relationships with practitioners, we're needing systems in place to support all of this growth, and that is pretty much why we're here today. We're working with a software engineer to build the Hiya website out into a platform that is going to allow the programming piece of what we're doing to be more automated so that the executive can go and book their massage on their lunch break real easy, or the stressed out social worker can leave a really intense situation in a house and then pop in the car and kind of get that one-on-one support that they might be needing. So it'll be like an Uber for corporate wellness, where we can just, again, personalize and integrate wellness in ways that work for us. So it will have that practitioner piece, but it's also going to have the product piece. So there will be a like a vendor platform for people who have different teas and oils and healing products, that they'll be able to list those on there. And then practices itself. So we'll have all our virtual, meditations and different virtual offerings on there. So that's kind of the vision for that. And as we grow from the platform and expand and bring in some revenue from that, we hope to expand into, again, this state-of-the-art healing facility that will support our community members, our businesses, and attract people to Dayton again as a space that maybe they never thought they would go for a relaxing experience. So now that you've all imagined yourself getting a massage on your lunch break, we'll get into the business. We've identified a wonderful market for Hiya. There's a lot of people and organizations trying to be more intentional about supporting their employees' well-being. And so the corporate wellness market is continuing to increase. We were really fortunate that we had a group of UD students who are entrepreneurship seniors, and they have a capstone course where they take on a client as like a consulting client. So they did a full strategic research analysis and all the things, and they actually surveyed 100 HR managers, and HR managers are the people that are deciding what the wellness benefits are for their group. So they found that what Hiya is doing as far as personalizing their experiences and creating more opportunities for mental wellness were big gaps that they were noticing. And also one of their recommendations was to create a Hiya app. So we were like, you guys didn't know we were already doing that. But as you can see, like, the growth continues, but the burnout continues to escalate as well, right? So our burnout rates continue to escalate, and organizations are still losing $70 billion a year due to stress, people not showing up, and people not being productive when they're there. So again, Hiya is coming in and not just saying, yeah, we're another corporate wellness solution, but it's how can we fill the gaps of the existing solutions that they may not be fulfilling. And so we shared at the last pitch that we had just really started getting started working with organizations at the beginning of the year. We were working with the Department of Job and Family Services. These are the social workers of our community, Premier Health, and CareSource. And we have certainly grown. People continue to reach out. We're now working with some organizations like Clark State. We're in conversation with Sinclair. We've been working with some community organizations on some community programming, and also starting to have conversations about how we can support their employees. And this is just a few of our clients. People are reaching out every week as they see us in different things, figuring out how we can support them. So again, there's a need for systems. The most exciting partnership that I want to share is a strategic conversation we're having right now with the YMCA. And I actually took my first yoga class when I was 13 at the YMCA, so it's like a full circle moment for me. But they have been doing corporate wellness programming for a while. They're serving several thousand clients in the Dayton area, and they're noticing gaps that their solutions aren't offering that Hiya may be able to fill some of those needs. And what's really exciting is we've been sharing the platform idea with them, and they already have a web portal that their employees have access to. And so they're going to integrate the Hiya platform into that. So all of their existing clients will have access to the Hiya platform, which is awesome. And so, needless to say, Flyer Pitch has been pivotal to this growth so far. In round one, we were able to invest into a CRM, or client relationship management, so just a tool to manage all of these relationships with all these organizations and the different projects that we're doing. In round two, we were able to use the $1,000 to have a workflow set up within Dubsado that's automating our processes for our programming and consulting and the proposals and invoicing and all of that, which has been really helpful, and it's freed up a lot of space for me to put elsewhere. We were able to invest into search engine optimization so that when people are searching workplace wellness, corporate wellness solutions, and things like that, they're seeing Hiya show up in the results. And then really excitingly, we were able to find 2 website plugins that we can plug into our website as it is while the platform's being built out that will allow practitioners to list their services and products, and people will be able to go and book. So we're going to be able to kind of beta the platform before it's even ready. And just to show you what that looks like on a revenue standpoint, this is the revenue we've been able to bring in this quarter. Last year, we really were transitioning from the subscription boxes and one-on-one coaching into this corporate space. So we didn't bring in much revenue last year, but we've been going through all these programmings, getting lots of coaching. And as you can see, programming is beginning to pick up. We've started offering marketing, and that is just another capacity that we have. It's a need that our organizations are needing, and our practitioners are sometimes needing support in their marketing. So it's just been another way to generate revenue while we're working on the platform. We may continue it, we may not. And then we, of course, got our Flyer Pitch funding. And then in April, we were just awarded a Dayton Resiliency Fund grant from Urban League. So continuing to grow, continuing to reach out for additional support, and again, really grateful that we are even at this point today. So just to show you what that kind of looks like in our community, these are some CareSource employees enjoying some wellness, some yoga, some massage, and some art therapy while they're working. And into revenue potential, we really have 6 revenue streams because we've got our boxes, and we've got benefits when organizations actually go through the consulting process. But right now, based on what is actually coming in, we've got our programming, our consulting, and our marketing. And so we're expected to bring in a little over $57,000 in 2023, which is a lot of growth, but these are based on either in force or pending contracts, so really excited about that growth. And obviously, once the platform is in place, we will continue to see growth in revenue from that. And we're seeking Flyer Pitch support not only for the platform financially to build it out, but also for like pricing strategy support, because we're still finalizing what we want to charge as far as platform fees go. And so really, really conservative projections. We've done some market research. Most corporate wellness platforms run off of this $1 to $5 PEPM is per employee per month. And that is how most of the models are working. The YMCA charges their clients $2 to $5 a month. So we're trying to think about what it would be in kind of an easy lift to add the Hiya platform on for their existing clients. And so just to think about 4 of the organizations that we work with, and they have a total of 25,000 employees, if only 10% of those employees, which is 2,500 users, were to adopt the platform and start using it, we could bring in $30,000 in 2024. Obviously, the more users, the more organizations, and then also once we start to figure out what we want to charge practitioners to use the platform as well, because they're getting additional opportunities to grow their business, corporate wellness opportunities, and whatnot. So again, these are really conservative, but just showing kind of the bare minimum of what's possible in the next year. And of course, unfortunately, it does cost to run a business. We're pretty low on operating expenses. We have like our website, our marketing, our Dubsado, our QuickBooks. Most of our operating expenses are software and technology. So with that and taxes, we're at about $15,000 for the year. And then phase one of our platform will be about $10,000, and that's just an estimate that's come from our software engineer. Obviously, as we continue to grow and hope to hold more users, we'll need to continue to fundraise to support that growth. So this is our fundraising goal for 2023 is $25,000. And again, continuing to look for Flyer Pitch to support us in continuing this growth and continuing to integrate wellness into our workplace. We hope to be able to support the organizations that you work with to incorporate wellness in ways that is meaningful for you. And so the $10,000 would be extremely supportive of our platform development, and we hope to win the Community Choice Award as well. If you haven't voted already, feel free to find that link somewhere on Greater Red State and Incubator's Instagram. But that could support us in expanding the platform so that the organizations that you work for may be able to offer this platform to you as well. And I will just end with a review. This is actually from a CareSource executive, and I'm just going to skim that. Through the guided, okay, so they reached out for a end of the year self-care day, and they say, through Taylor's guided exercises, my team was able to let go of their day-to-day job responsibilities and fully be present to breathe, release things they'd been holding on to, and learned ways to refocus on things that are important, including their inner peace. At the end of the day, they said it was the best gift they'd received, the perfect way to end the year, and they're so thankful that we helped them understand the importance that one cannot pour from an empty cup. So I cannot imagine a better just working environment. I think more of us deserve that. We work really hard in this community, and we got to balance it out. So we're hoping to do that, and we're hoping you can help us get there, and I'm looking forward to answering any questions you have. Yeah, that's a really good question. So we're not working like top down because, as you can imagine, CareSource and Premier have corporate wellness programs. But we're rather working with individual teams and kind of working in that way. So we've done a self-care end-of-the-year retreat that was just with the Life Services Department is the only department we've been working with, but we're starting to get plugged in with their other departments. And then a couple weeks ago or last week, we had a retreat. They had a 2-day strategic planning retreat in Columbus. And so they just asked how we could like infuse some wellness into that retreat. So we did a wellness circle at the beginning where we kind of got grounded and centered. And then at the end, we did a self-care lab, and that was where those photos were from. And they got to kind of play with different types of wellness activities.
So to market to, say, you have to do to each department?
I wouldn't say that we have to. That's just the approach we've been taking, and really that's only because I had a relationship with somebody who had that department, and she was like, I don't want to share you with the rest of CareSource initially, but obviously seeing the value. So, you know, honestly, I'm having a hard time thinking about the marketing as it would normally be because we've just been getting connected and people have been reaching out. So I think we've been kind of working internally, but there's certainly marketing that would be required when we're working on the strategic level with the organization and we're providing programming to make sure people are showing up. So we're trying to figure out how to be more intentional. But a lot of what we've been doing with the organization so far has been fact-finding and trying to identify what the gaps are.
How many phases of the app, it's an app, right?
Yeah, it will be.
How many phases?
You know, there will definitely be 2. There will probably be more than that. The first phase will be kind of the beta version. And even before that, we'll have kind of our beta version on our website. And then we hope to add more from there. So there will eventually be courses and different things that people can add to it from there. But yeah.
Phase 1 generate revenue?
Yes. Phase 1 being not our website beta version, like the plugins, but phase 1 that we're asking for the $10,000 for would start to generate revenue ideally in 2024.
And how much will the whole thing cost?
The whole platform, we're not sure yet. The first round, like it will cost $10,000 And that's like to pay him and do the things, but we're really still figuring out what's going to happen beyond that.
Do you get paid?
That is a great question.
I didn't see that anywhere.
So I actually resigned from my full-time job at the end of February. And that's kind of why I started adding like the marketing division, because I resigned from a job as a marketing director. So I'm thinking of keeping the marketing arm open as my salary, but still working it out.
And then I had a question about how do you,
I haven't paid myself yet, though, is the answer to that question.
how do you do the marketing part? I didn't really understand. You market for people or?
Yeah, it is almost kind of siloed, like a separate division in a sense, but I want to work it in so that we're supporting our wellness practitioners and their marketing. So they may have, you know, they're trying to get be visible and, you know, professional enough so that they can get these corporate wellness opportunities. So we've been like, okay, how can we help them kind of show up a little bit better? But a lot of the marketing that we're currently doing that we've got contracts for has been from clients I was able to bring in from my previous job. So they're all different kinds of organizations.
So it's a totally separate business.
In a sense, yeah.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions? Thank you. Appreciate your time. Oh, I forgot about this.
I
don't have any pockets. Oh,
your pockets
no.
in your jacket, or
Here, you put it in my pocket.
it's like, just stuff in case you don't grab it.
Thank you. Good job. Oh my God. Wow. Thank you. Oh,
All right, we are about to move on to our last but not least entrepreneur. I have not had the pleasure of working directly with her, but I have had the pleasure of seeing her present on several occasions. She's amazing. I think her business is amazing, and you guys will get an opportunity to see her and what she brings as well. Yes. So, without further ado, let's please give a warm welcome to Tasty Love Baby Food, Ms. Courtney Terry. But act like they know you.
No, I'm clapping for all of you guys that have gone before me. You guys did a phenomenal job. You know, going last is very humbling. You guys did a good job, and I am so thankful and humbled and grateful to have been in the same room with all of you guys. And I want to thank all of the judges before I get started for allowing this opportunity. Let me see. I don't know how to.
Hit the play button on
You're
the
hitting
computer screen.
the laser pointer.
Oh, yeah, okay. So then I just hit it. Okay. Okay, hi, my name is Courtney Terry, and I am the owner of Tasty Love Baby Food. And like I said, it's a pleasure to be in front of you guys today and in the last round of this pitch competition. There's still a great need in our community for a healthier alternative to infant and toddler food, which stemmed from me and my own experience with having my third child and going back to work. And trying to figure out a healthier option comparable to what I make at home to give him while I'm working, and realizing that there are many other people that suffer with the same issue. And it started with parents in the community who didn't have the time, patience, or sometimes the know-how to do it themselves, and kind of expanded as we have been in business a couple years to realize that there are other people that can benefit from this product. And we'll get a little bit more into that later on in the presentation. So the problem with other brands is they're not fresh. They're not really comparable to what you can make at home. They oftentimes are not really nutrient dense, which is because they are mass produced and watered down. So our solution is fresh. We do small batch. We don't use water as fillers in any of our products. They're nutrient dense, and we continue to build on to our products by adding seasons like turmeric, and we hope to offer others like echinacea and ginkgo biloba down the line. Our market consists primarily of people who don't mind investing in a higher quality product. And we reach that market through child care centers, farmers markets, children's hospitals, and events that we may attend in the Dayton area. You might be surprised to know that baby food is actually 3% of the total global food market. So where does Dayton fall in that mix? Well, last year, Dayton produced or birthed over 29,000 babies. And so with over 200 plus child care centers, I would say that we have a lot of opportunity to reach an untapped market. Dayton, or Tasty Love Baby Food, is still currently the only baby food prep business in Ohio. So how do we speak to that market? We partner with organizations like Preschool Promise, who has partnered with and has an umbrella of tools and resources for over 100 plus of the child care centers in Dayton, Ohio. We just, since starting this competition, we just started a relationship with our Dayton Public Health, who has been tasked with educating our community on healthier eating and living. Of course, we do conferences and events with regard to babies and kids. We just did one 4C for Kids annual conference last year. We do social media via Facebook and Instagram, and we collaborate on social media with mom collective groups to market our products. And of course, we partner with other local small businesses. So another way that we meet the demand of our customers is by following trends. Like this pouch that you see. This pouch, or a similar item, is probably the most popular way to feed our little ones these days. And that starts all the way from the beginning of food phase up to snack phase and beyond. We have customers who have just started their baby food phase and use single ingredient options where they can squeeze it in a bowl. And we've had elderly customers who might also have to squeeze it in a bowl, but can use it as well. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention where we started. Back in 2019, this is what our packaging looked like. We had plastic containers that actually cracked in the freezer, and we were able to pivot really quickly, obviously, because they cracked in the freezer, we had to make everything on demand. So we were wasting a lot of product and losing a lot of money until we realized this is our very first squeeze pouch and what it looked like, that customers appreciated the pouch more. And our business model. So in going through this presentation, it really made me take a look at where we have come from, where we are going, and other businesses like ours. And one thing that was brought up by one of the coaches here at the Karate Center was the IAMS dog food. They did door-to-door, we do door-to-door. We have to build relationships with everyone in the community. We are boots on the ground, knocking on the door every day to sell our product because we are currently in an untapped market. Get it a little bit more into IAMS. If you guys didn't know, because I didn't, and I'm sorry to say that out loud, IAMS Dog Food was started by local Daytonian Paul IAMS. So like Tasty Love Baby Food, Paul grew his business as much as he could in an untapped market by selling his product to pet stores, doing the door-to-door thing, until he realized that he actually needed the help of marketing manager Clay Mathill. Clay Mathill is also from Ohio. Clay Mathill grew his business, was able to grow IAMS Dog Food business. He eventually took over the business and sold the business in 1999 for a couple $2 billion. So we actually need a Clay Mathill. I think everybody does. This is our revenue model. Over 70% of our revenue comes from child care centers. 20% comes from our online sales, which include events that we may attend and farmers markets. And then the smallest percentage right now goes to retail, which we hope to grow. We are currently in Dorothy Lane Market and set to expand to their other locations, and would love the opportunity to stay in some of our higher end local grocery stores. We presented this graph in our last presentation. I circled 2019 because in 2019, we were literally in an untapped market, and starting our business, we made next to nothing. But we kept going, obtained our first child care center in 2020, and we have grown steadily since then. Actually, since starting this competition, we have obtained 3 more child care centers. And so we are forecasting double growth even from last year, and we hope to continue growing in years to come. Our goal is to obtain at least 2 child care centers per quarter moving forward. Use of funds. Also during this competition, at the top of this competition, we were in negotiation phase to obtain our own production space. We have obtained our own production space and actually had my first day in the kitchen last week using it, and so I'm excited about that. And so some of the funds that we've received so far have gone towards a new food steamer, 2 stainless steel sinks, hand washing sink, a security camera because some of our equipment was destroyed by construction workers, and cleaning supplies. We still need some kitchen supplies to go into this space, but our ultimate biggest ask and need actually right now is a marketing manager. I am the marketing manager, I'm the operations person, I am the everything. I do have help in the kitchen. Actually, one of my old employees will be coming back to move into this new space with me. But a marketing manager would help to catapult this business even further than what I'm forecasting right now. I put this picture up before I get to my conclusion because this was my original logo. I was very intentional about starting my business, and I actually drew this and got it digitized by a marketing person in Columbus. And so I always have to come back to this and remember where I came from and where I started and why I'm doing this. Like I said before, there is still a major need in our community for healthier options. Not only just to introduce healthier options early on, there's a greater need on the west side of Dayton. And as I mentioned in the previous presentation in the last round, the west side of Dayton, a lot of people can't afford my product. And so one of the ways that I have found is getting into child care centers. One of our clients is Mini University. We serve 3 of their schools, and 2 of them are on the west side of Dayton. And so in that way, we are able to serve some of our underserved community and get healthier products to them. But it also serves as a double head. Getting into child care centers is also a marketing tool to market towards other customers who might want to purchase our product. As I said before, we need a claimant till. We need a marketing manager. And so moving forward, we'll be raising funds to go towards that, whether that is an investing or managing partner or an influencer. And that concludes my presentation. Any questions?
Question for you. I know you mentioned, I was looking at your business plan, you mentioned earlier that you gave the market to the elderly.
Yes.
So you have athletic teams in here as well. So can you talk a little bit about that?
So we recently started conversations with someone who, I'm not going to mention his name at the moment because it's still in beginning phase, who wants to market our product and use it for his athletes. So turning it into more of a sports pouch. And so we're kind of still in beginning phase conversations with that, but that is something that's coming. Yeah. We also recently, and I didn't mention, we also had a family member recently who was diagnosed with cancer. And when she's in chemo, she can't digest anything. And surprisingly enough, she has been able to, in tandem with another product that is specifically for cancer patients, she's been able to digest Tasty Love baby food products. So it's not one difficulty that I have had, and another reason why I need a marketing manager, is that there's so many different legs to this business. We sell a lot of our products to infants and toddlers, but we get so many other customers who buy our products as well, from elderly to athletes to cancer patients now. And just my 8-year-old still uses it as a snack when she's walking around the house. So being able to market to all of these different groups of people needs to have a differentiation from Tasty Love baby food, if that makes sense.
So, you mentioned having pink logo or, you said 3 things.
Echinacea or turmeric, yeah.
Would that be for babies? Or would that be for
It could be. I actually have a brand ambassador who has been asking me every week it seems like, when I'll be adding those substances to my product, because it adds an extra oomph of nutrition to it, especially if you have a sick child, or if you're there are a lot of people that just want those extra items in their food. I'll be honest and say I am not a nutrition specialist, so that has been my hesitation in adding some of those other products. But yes, that is a goal in the future.
Yeah, because I feel like you could get into some issues.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. Absolutely, yeah. Yep. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
all day long. We can post all this stuff, but when you don't use it, it makes no difference. So for you guys to be here, be in this room, and have an opportunity, it speaks volume for who you are and where you want your business to go. So we thank you so much for being a part of everything. We thank you for really dedicating your time and dedicating yourself to being excellent. And I always say this, and I tell you guys this all the time, I tell my kids this, and I was told this, we have no choice. It's not a plan B. It's not a second option. You come from greatness. You're destined to be great. So there's not another choice but to be great. So you have all exuberated excellence and greatness. And so I thank you and I appreciate you. And we will get the judge's deliberation and we will see you all next time. Thank you. If I can have my judges stay here and then everybody else get out. Yes, yes.
Good seeing you always. Hey, how you doing? Good. What's up, Ty?
Yeah, so we can just see Thank you so much. Nice to meet you too. Yeah, have a wonderful day.
I don't even have one of them.
Everybody on the
Good job, Tasty. 79 people to run the enterprise. It won't be me. Nah, I didn't have one. You gonna let her on the baby? Ah, he gonna catch gangrene. Man, you hear her. You hear her about to act her lungs up. Don't give it to the baby. I'm just saying. I know.
I told him when I first started, I said, we sound like this till at least March. And every year, I sound like this till March.
Like that? All that, drinking and that? I never had that.
I know, tell people. Yeah.
I had to walk out, like, nobody's in the nonprofit track, like, they don't have an audience, so their room is not as big, so we expected, I'm like, he's not multiple, so I'm like, no, we go back in.
Nobody was in the nonprofit?
Nah, they didn't have an audience. Everybody who I saw go down there was pitching.
Yeah, everybody is pitching. Yeah, so I'm like, I'm making noise, I'm like, you think I can't figure it out? So then I went to the square.
So then you bring it to us.
I was to the square, they pitched,
That's what I thought. I was just waiting for confirmation.
Are we live streaming?
Yeah.
So you stream, are you gonna, oh yeah,